Hello. Hello, YouTube. I'm going to do my first video blog here. Lately, there's been a lot of, these days we live with the internet and we have memes and lots of personal media, and you get a lot of both sides of the spectrum. And I don't mean like Republican Democrat, but like sheep and anti-sheep. I don't know what you would call them. But something's been bothering me. It's that, we live in America where the way, if you know anything about the history of our country and our founding fathers and how they felt about tyrannical governments or even big government in general making rules and being in charge of your life and taxing you. And that's what all started the Revolutionary War and led the Constitution to be written and this country to be founded. And you jump forward to today, and people seem to have this belief that the federal government is king. We don't have a king in America. The government serves us. We are the kings. We are the ones who rule over the land, and it's that belief that the government has this power over them that gives government power over them, but it's not the way it's set up. And government officials are agents. They're agents of us, the people. And they're supposed to be doing a job to serve our interests. But it seems today that the job that they do is for corporate interests, and we serve their interests. Why? What's wrong with you guys? You know what? It's not fair to blame the people, but then again, there's only a certain level of ignorance that you can, if you stand by while someone gets murdered when you could have stopped it, when you could have done something, then how innocent are you? You're not doing the killing, but you're not stopping the issue. So when people support the concept that the government is in charge and actually has power over us, then you're feeding into is that the America you want to live in? Is that the kind of country you want to live in? That's not the America I believe in, and that's certainly not the America the founding fathers believed in, to the best of my understanding. So I don't know. It seemed important enough for me to try and broadcast this concept that no, they have no jurisdiction over you whatsoever. You have jurisdiction over them. But we don't practice government anymore. Because really we're supposed to be the officers, and we're supposed to be the judges and the politicians. But what we have, and the army too, but what we have is corporate entities that have been those entities for so long that they've become elite, and they're, this is the reason that the Tree of Liberty needs to be watered with the blood of patriots every 20 years or so. When was the last time the Tree of Liberty was watered in America? It seems like it's been at least 200 years. I don't advocate war. I don't advocate revolution. The way things are going, all the craziness on the news, and the way people react to it, it leaves me shaking my head, and I really don't understand it, because it's become this way over a large scale of time, where the younger generation, my generation, we were born into a world that was already warped and perverted to be like this. But it still bothers me that people, there's a certain level of sheepishness to actually believe the concept that, oh, we must obey. They make the rules to protect us. No, they're protecting their own interests. They're not protecting the American people. When they turn the American people into the enemy, when they make us out to be, if you speak about your freedoms and your liberties, you're suddenly a bad guy. No, that's a real, true American. That's the way all Americans should be. In fact, anyone who doesn't believe in their own freedoms and liberties and isn't willing to stand up for it and defend them, then you're a terrorist. You're a bad guy. You're the one who's feeding into this potential future military state that we're getting closer and closer to every day. So, I don't know. I'm not going to claim to be. I'm not going to claim to know anything, but this is the way I see it, and I really hope that, you know, people might see this and be inspired to actually do some research on the history of America and what the government really is and what they're really meant to be and what it is to be sovereign and what it is to be a citizen. And because as far as I can tell, a citizen is a subject of a king, and that's not what the American people really are. That's not what we're meant to be. That's not the way it was set up. That's what we're becoming. Is that what you want? But who are you going to blame when it all comes down to it? You going to blame the crooks who hijacked the government from us through generations? Or are you going to blame yourself for not knowing any better, not standing up for your rights and freedoms and stopping them? I mean, we don't need war. What we need is to fire these crooks and replace them with good, honest people. I don't see we have anything to lose. And, you know, in the old days, a long time ago, someone was a crook, they get hung in the courtyard in the town square for everyone to see, so people would see it and go, oh, what did he do? You know? And again, I'm not advocating violence, but there comes a point where all this politically correctness and all this being nice, more or less, nice people get walked over. Nice people get trampled on. Don't tread on me, you know. Those are real concepts, and those things you can be proud of, you know. Just stand up for your rights and freedoms like that. And, in fact, I don't think anyone should be proud of supporting a tyrannical, crooked government that wants to do nothing but benefit themselves and stuff their pockets with money and control the people of the population of the country, especially in a country like America. You know, I'm not just preaching it. It truly is the only country in the world where our government was set up and intended to be a democracy, a republic ran by the people, not by a corporate agency that profits off and gets a strong head over their power over us. Because their power, the power they get over us, the only reason they have any power is because we give it to them. We gave it to them in trust to protect us. And when it gets to the point where they're hurting us, something needs to be stopped. And it's not, it's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's not, you know, the only people who are going to say that it's a bad thing, stand up for your rights and freedoms, are sheep and shills. Shills for the government who want you to believe that you should just sit down and be quiet and do what you're told and pay your taxes and accept it all. And if they make some bogus law that you can't collect rainwater, no, they don't have any right. They don't have any right. The government does not have power over us. We have power over the government. But the reason that in these days it seems like the government has power over us is because we're all uneducated and we all have no concept, or seemingly, or we're lazy or docile or whatever, and we don't stand up and take our power back and take our government back. And that's what we need to do. And I'm not talking about taking it from the American people. I'm talking about giving it back to the American people. It's already been taken from the American people. So there's a little food for thought. Hopefully I don't regret putting these thoughts out there, and hopefully they have some positive reactions. So.